Okie dokie, so yesterday I posted the video changing out my tensioner, and I thought we were good to go, and each one comes with a new bolt. So this one was different from this one. Now, I got this part from Amazon. I don't think that was a good choice. I think it was a bunk part. It has a lot of wiggle room. Whenever this is completely screwed in, it still wiggles. So this, I thought I was good to go. I put it on there. It doesn't seem to have any give, but it would not hydraulically press. So I could not bleed my tensioner. And I couldn't get on my belt at all. Why? Because the aluminum casing was immediately stripping. And see, look at that. It's falling apart. I haven't forced it really, but you can tell it's already gotten stripped. It's getting returned, and this part is also getting returned. And I bought a steel-bodied tensioner, also still for the 2006 Honda Odyssey. I'm going to put it on, let y'all know if it works, and then I will give you a link for the cheapest tensioner that I could find online. I had to buy this new part from O'Reilly's. It was $200. My neighbor picked it up for me, and let's inspect it together really quick. Okay. It's kind of rattling around. That's okay. Okay, all the pieces. Yes, you can tell that this has a different kind of finish from the aluminum one. Let me go ahead and grab the aluminum one, and we'll look at them side by side. You can tell that this has more like of a grit, while that's super smooth. This body is just really fragile, and the listing said it's heavy duty aluminum. This piece was $40. This one is, this was $200 from the store, but online from Rock Auto it is about $122 from Rock Auto. Body is steel, which is why the bolts didn't strip, but even though it is steel, this pulley just given me some shake. You hear that? I think maybe because the bolt had come out and this arm had gotten bent. This should not be this way, so I think damage happened to this part because of that. This has enough give to twist, but it's not going to wiggle in that same fashion. I wasn't getting enough leverage, and my 19mm, which is the correct size, was stripping these bolts. So we're gonna get this new part put on. I'll film it for you, share my experience, and give you a full update, because apparently on this Honda Odyssey 2006, this is a problem part. Part of the reason is because there's two models of this vehicle, and sometimes people get the wrong belt size that's 2 inches longer than the one intended for this vehicle, or 2 inches shorter. I can't remember what it is. But also because people do not bleed the tensioner after it's installed. So I will show you how to bleed the tensioner, and I will also let you know shortly if this actually completely solves my... Okay, so this should be a really super easy installation. I have both of my sizes here. The one on the previous one was 15 here, but this is a 14, I think. Let me double check. It's a 17. So 17, and then this is the same bolt from the old piece. They don't include this. This is a 12. I just have those both on the same, or on different wrenches, so I can get this done real quick. Got my cheater bar just to, tighten it without having to strain my shoulder, because my shoulder was dislocated 2 weeks ago. And I have some orange thread lock, because the bolt was coming out on the old one, and I think really it was a pressure issue because of, incorrect installation. But I am thread locking it in because this can be broken by hand, and I would rather have this stay in than come out and destroy all of this hard work that I've done. So I'm going to enter into this hole on the bottom, and this is the middle hole where the other bolt goes into. So we are going to do that. This jacket all covered in grease because I didn't think I'd be doing very much today. Okay, so we're getting our piece in here into this bolt hole and this bolt hole. And I have to thread lock. Well, as you can see, this is orange thread lock. Don't know if you can see the color too well, but it is orange. It's on there. stick my little other bolt back in, and we're gonna get this thing twisted towards the right orientation, and we're gonna slide it in there gently. I'll bolt first actually, because I can see it. Y'all might be able to see it from there. Okay, those threads are going in, but what the heck? Where's my wrench? Okay, it's on righty-tighty. Gonna slide this in here. Oh man, it's not letting me very easy. It's holding it, but this is a get started. There's just not enough clearance to get that one in there. Okay, I think that started. Okay, so now let's push this thing in here. Oh yes, that is a lot more satisfying to me. Okay. I'm gonna use this a little bit longer. So, oh shoot, so I can improve the clearance. Get this bolt started properly. Okay. You know what's funny? I'm an artist. Oh. Okay. I'm not really a comedian, so that might not be funny to you, but I think it is funny. My wrench was not going righty-tighty, so that might have been why it pulled it out. I'm trying to get it on there, but there's this little lip thing. Okay. This is so much easier to do with this wheel out of the wheel well, by the way, because I did it with the wheel here and it was possible, but I have a lot more light, a lot more room to film too. Okay. Should be able to get this past that. There's like a little bracket on this that's trying to interfere with my socket wrench. Okay. My shoulder is a little tired, but that's okay. Switch this. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Okay, it's going right. I feel like it's easier to get the part in through the bottom. You can get it in through the top. I would recommend when you're doing this kind of thing anyways to go ahead and pull the power steering reservoir kind of out of the way and detach it from the body of your hood, because those tubes get in the way and it makes a mess. I tried plugging up the tubes and then my mom like grabbed the reservoir with its hole up. She tipped it over and dumped it out all over my engine. And I was like, yeah, no, you're not being helpful. So can you leave? Because that's not what I asked you to do. But getting those tubes out of the way makes it a lot easier to bleed and also compress with the tensioner bolts so that you can get your belt on. I highly recommend just going ahead and disconnecting those things. If you want to avoid a mess and you can open your power steering to drain a little bit, that's probably easier to do. Okay. I need an arm break. Like I said, my shoulder got dislocated a couple weeks ago. So this is pretty exhausting having to do all of this stuff. And my left arm just doesn't work very well doing this stuff. I can do it, but it's super awkward. So, okay, that's tight. I'm gonna go ahead and slide on my cheater and just crank it once. Just a little bit. Okay. So that's super tight. The fedlock's on there. As you can see, the cheater, I didn't even barely move this bolt with the cheater. Don't over crank it because you might give someone a hard time getting it off, and if you sell the vehicle, like, it's just not very kind to do to another person. Someone used an impact wrench on my oil bolt, so I know what it's like to just strip a bolt because the bolt's in too tight and you can't do anything to get it out. We're going to tighten this one too. I don't think I need the cheater bar for this bolt. Just going to hand tighten it real good. Okay. Okay. That's in there. So now I'm going to explain to you, there's two ways to bleed or to compress this so that you can get the belt on. There's one on the bottom here where you can see, and there's also one on the top. I will go show you on the top in a minute. But this is going to be the first, like from the bottom, this is your example of how to bleed. Basically, you just need to compress your hydraulic tensioner up very slowly so that the air can escape, and then very slowly let it go back. You're supposed to put this on here. Tight fit. Hold on, let me get it lower so I can get my cheater bar in here. I think this is a lot easier to do from the top, so I will probably be doing it from the top. I'm just explaining that you can do it from the bottom as well, especially if your top bolt is stripped. Apparently this bottom bolt gets more leverage than on top. Try ticking it up one more time. Okay. There's not a lot of clearance. As you can see, I'm going to hit my oil filter. Oh, shoot. Okay, so this is the tensioner bolt you need to put your 19mm on from above. But as you can see, these tubes are in the way, which is why you should disconnect this and pull this. I think this tube off of there is going to be the easiest. I'm not going to film me struggling because it took forever for me to put this on and my camera is full. But you will slide your wrench on to this bolt from the top. And it needs to push towards the back. So you'll be compressing that way towards the bottom. Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to try to get this done off camera. From the top, you can see how I pulled this off of the power steering pump and I plugged it. I used tinfoil with a piece of plastic and worked pretty well, but my reservoir is empty and it had been dumped yesterday. So this part will make a mess, but it's really necessary so you can get right here without any interference from that tube, because this tube goes across right here. Okay, hello. As you can see, I have one on from the top. I have my belt completely threaded, except it's not on the harmonic balancer. So I'm gonna slide in here. You can see I have one on the top. I have a second pair of hands from my mom. Thank you so much, Mama, for your help, because I'm just tired of my car not working. And I am the second pair of hands. Doing it from the top and bottom, I think, is just the best solution so that you don't strip anything on the new part, so that you can bleed the tensioner, and we bled it already, so that went well. No, not yet. Hold on. I'm gonna double check that the camera can see, because my head just knocked into it. Yeah, no, it moved the camera. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna have to pop it on from the top. Let me get the belt. It's all threaded on that side, right? On the one on top? Yeah. Looks good? Okay. All right, go for it. It's close. A little bit. Okay, hold it. All right, it's threaded on the bottom too. Go ahead. Really? Gentle, yeah. Ah, hallelujah.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll just confirm with my camera. Threaded.
I'm so sorry.
That was scary. Death by wrench. But it's good to go. Everything's threaded on top. I'm so happy.